after she led him into the living room, to the sofa, and after she had set the vinyl, yes, the sound of music playing in the background, that old sound of old love and old romance, slow and soft filled the air. As they sat on the sofa above my bed, the shadows beneath, and then she slipped back out to the kitchen, and I was left alone with him, yes, those two dark, beady eyes staring at me without a blink, and he had a smile, a crooked, cruel, evil smile, as he rose up from the sofa. Slowly he rose up from the sofa, and I watched his fists begin to clench, and I knew what he was going to do to me, yes. He rose to chase me, and suddenly I had wanted Melinda to race back into the room, because I was frightened. I sensed he would somehow catch up to me, and so I raced to the bookshelf along the wall, to a chair in the corner, and I ducked under the chair and watched as his shadow loomed closer as he hurried over. My old black shoes, now polished, approaching against the floorboards. Closer and closer I watched my black shoes approach until they finally stopped at the edge of the chair. I waited and watched, his hands looping lower, fingers uncurling to reach under. But I raced out and ran between his legs and headed for the living room table, and I ducked under and I started shaking, yes. My heart was racing. As he loomed closer, his hands reaching out, trying to snap my collar, and I snapped my head back. His hands snapped down and reached for me again, and I ducked away. She entered the room with a tray of cheese and wine, unaware of this, yes. Here we go, my sweetie, just a little nosh for the evening. And that brought silence into the room, except for the tune that was playing. A pause in the conflict, in the battle, in the cat and mouse chase of me and my nemesis, as he stepped back and reached for a glass of red in her hand and walked back over to the sofa. And I had to listen to her say, I like the change in you, it's a new you. I think it's nice, and I'm glad that you've turned the corner and changed. I like you better this way. And he smiled. I'm glad you do. And his fingers lifted a cracker and his eyes glared at me. I like myself better this way too, he said. And then she leaned over and set her lips into his. And I was trapped now, unable to stop what was going to happen, dreading that bedroom door behind the hallway shadows. as they cuddled and their fingers got restless and their lips started mending and the shirt buttons became undone and the body started rolling over against the back corners of the sofa and the underwear past the ankles. I had to switch back, but the midnight hour was still an hour away. A lifetime. Funny thing, time. It was all obvious to me now that being in this furry body and being cute with the fur, yes, and the white whiskers and soft paws, well, it all became obvious now that nothing could win over Melinda's love. Not for me. And it was because she had never loved me and never could. And it was that damn cat's fault, yes. Its soul and its personality were no match for mine. That damn feline personality I had switched with. And I had lost. It was all hopeless. As I wanted it so badly to get back inside my old body and snap out of this curse I had reckoned myself with. Damn, that moon was about to be full, but not fast enough. That hour, that final hour was a lifetime, I say, a lifetime. I couldn't contain myself. No, I leapt up onto the sofa and went for his throat. My claws out, I went and I swiped at his face. And she jumped back and he grabbed my collar and tugged hard. A speck of flesh I might have gotten as I felt something in my claws. I wanted to see blood. He tugged hard and I choked and shrieked. Yes, I shrieked. I left a wet stain on his lap. And the tug was harder as I got thrown across the room and landed against the wall. My leg dislodged. It felt it was so painful as I dropped and plopped to the floor, and she screamed and dodged a glance at me. What the hell have you done? Maddie, what the hell was that for? My nemesis dodged a smile at me and then at her, and I saw his fingers clench and his eyes snarl as he stood up. In time, just in time to renew her despise and betray the love, all the love that she had gave me. Damn it, the love, the little love that there was, that I could clutch onto, the last of the good memories. I was trapped now. I was getting under her skin now, literally under her skin, losing to that wretched cat spirit for the final time. And I had done all this for her, for Melinda, for the love we once had. All the love that cat had stolen from me all of the time, and the attempts and the hopes and dreams. I was cornered now in this costume of fur. On the stage of life, all the world a stage of life for hope and dreams. unconditional love, for the final tragedy it brought. It was all just a trick to think it wouldn't end in tragedy. Never to think that this coat of fur could change things, that unconditional love, that unconditional hope and dreams. Even worse, I was a mute, unable to speak my mind, my words to her, to defend and plead my case, to tell her how much I felt the pain. And she glanced at me and then back to him, and her voice was low and sad and nervous. Are you going to come with me when I bring him in tomorrow? His eyes narrowing into mine. Don't you worry, dear. I'll take care of it myself.